Hello and welcome to week 5 of the Reach for the Stars learning series. Today, our topic is developing interpersonal skills, right? So, what do you think of when we say interpersonal skills? What comes to your mind? Yeah? Okay, so interpersonal skills is all about how you interact and behave with people, right? How do you interact with people around you, isn't it? Okay, so, and it is a skill which is most commonly asked for in every job description. So every time you find a job description out there, you will see that it says, required skill sets, and it says interpersonal skills, looking for somebody with great interpersonal skills, right? So whether it is a job or even if you want to look, for somebody that you want to, let's say, marry or partner with, you would still look for great interpersonal skills, isn't it? So you always look for somebody who is pleasant, who is affable, who knows how to connect with other people and build relationships. So yes, so that is all about interpersonal skills, and let's dive right in to learn about how we can be better at developing, great interpersonal skills. Okay, so yes, all ready to learn interpersonal skills? Yeah. So, like I said, interpersonal skills are those that we use every day to communicate and interact with others. And it is essential to build relationships in life and at work. So, why do you think you need interpersonal skills? Why is it important? Because we live and work with people all around us. So, hence, it's important for us to connect with the people around us. And are all people the same? No, they aren't. People are different, people are diverse, and each person has their own needs and their own expectations. Just like you and I have our own needs and our own expectations, people are all different and diverse, and they have their own needs and expectations, right? Okay, and hence it is essential to build good relationships with them because we are all dependent on each other and part of the same ecosystem. So we live in the same ecosystem and we are dependent on each other. Hence, just as you and I have needs and expectations, the other person also has their own needs and expectations. And since we are all dependent on each other and live in the same ecosystem, it is important for us to understand each other, to be able to connect with each other, and to be able to support each other, right? And to build lasting relationships. And hence, we definitely need interpersonal skills. So, what are these interpersonal skills that people talk about all the time? What do you exactly need to do to develop these interpersonal skills? So, and what are the list of skills? So, today, let's look at the list of skills. The first one is communication skills. So, what am I doing right now? With all of you here, I am trying to communicate with you. I am sharing something with you. So, communication is an act of sharing, right? Is an act of sharing what you think, is an act of sharing what you know, is an act of getting across your thoughts, your viewpoints, your opinions to others, right? But the important thing is that you have to get it across to them in a manner that they understand and they reciprocate to you well, right? So, all about communication skills. Now, is communication skills that simple? And what are the aspects, of communication skills? So, we have three aspects of communication skills. The first one is non-verbal, or what we call body language, right? So the first thing when you look at somebody, what do you look? What do you see in that person? Yeah, you're looking and seeing if the person is smiling. What are their facial expressions? Are they looking grumpy? Are they looking arrogant? Or are they welcoming and pleasant? So can't you make all this out? Just when you look at a person. So, yes, so how can you project to the person that you are welcome and it's okay for the other person to come and talk to you or communicate with you? So, the first most important thing in non-verbal communication or with your body language is to always smile. Yeah, to always smile. It's important that when you're meeting somebody to give a warm smile. Yeah, so the person knows that you are open, to receiving the other person's thoughts, or to receiving the other person, uh, um, uh, the other person, and welcoming them, to share with you, right? So a smile is the most important accessory that you can ever have, right? So please smile. Smiling is a very important facet of, or a very important aspect of the body language. Yeah. The second thing is your greeting itself. So you smile, and then what next? Do you just smile and walk away, or how do you go greet them? What do you say to them? Yeah. So if it's a warm good morning or a good afternoon, whether it's a handshake, whether it's a namaste, of course this is social distancing times, and we really cannot shake hands with people. But yes, is it a warm namaste, with a smile? And the third important aspect of body language or nonverbal communication is to make eye contact. Yeah, to look at the person as you smile, as you greet, and say a namaste to them, right? So it is very, very important, because this sets the tone. Yeah, it breaks the ice and allows the other person to approach you, yeah, and to share their thoughts with you. Okay, so the first aspect of communication. Yeah, the second aspect is the verbal part, what you say exactly. Yeah, what are the words that you use, what is the tone that you use? So it is very important that you have a polite and courteous tone, yeah, every single time. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you know, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what is your position. You would have seen that the humblest of people, the biggest of people, are the humblest, right? People have shared enough and more stories of Ratan Tata, traveling in economy, right? In economy class, every time he is traveling somewhere, he chooses to go economy. Why does he do that? Because he wants to be humble, right? He doesn't believe in wasting a lot of money, or doing things which are irrelevant, when the purpose is just to get from one point to another. So yes, so being polite, being down to earth, being humble is important. You would have seen, of course, many great legends who are in great positions of power. Okay, they are in great positions of authority. However, they are most humble, and they would always greet you, with the best body language, with a smile, with a warm namaste, with an eye contact, and then with a polite tone and with the right set of words. Yeah, words are important. It is important for you to use words like please, like thank you, to say sorry whenever you can, and to ask, may I help you? How may I help you? So these are words that are important for you to use every single time, right? Moving on to the written communication, which is again an important facet when you are at work, or when you are, whether you are in a job, whether you are in a, running your own business, whatever it is that you're doing, written communication becomes really important. Or whether you're a student, right? So written communication, absolutely important. How do you write your emails? It is important to learn how to address your emails, the right greeting, the right body, and the right closure and the ending. So it is important to learn email etiquette. Email etiquette, of course, is a class on its own, but I'm sure that you will figure this out. And if you do need a class on email etiquette separately, let me know in the comments below, and I'll be happy to do that. Right? But yes, so writing polite, courteous emails using business English. What do I mean by business English? It is important to use politically correct words, right? For example, not using he or she, every time you write an email. Can you use people? Can you use persons? So making sure that you are sensitive, yeah, making sure that you are not using racist remarks, discriminatory remarks, making sure that you are not hurting anybody. Yeah, and when you do not know something, it's always better to say, may I request for this information? Yeah, or if you want to suggest something, you can always say, I recommend, or I suggest doing this. Yeah, so these are some of the things that you could do on an email or in your written communication to appear politically right, and to develop better interpersonal skills. And of course, every time you share something in writing, make sure that you have verified all the facts and the data. So make sure that you are presenting only facts, and that you're not getting emotional or writing an email using full block capital letters, because writing an email in full block capital letters means that you're actually shouting at the person or abusing the person. Yeah. Do not use a lot of emoticons when you're writing if it is a professional email. Yeah. So no display of emotions there as much as you can. Personal emotions, I would say. It's always good to say I'm happy or it's our pleasure, things like that. But yes, not overly emotional if it's a professional email or a professional written communication going out there. Yeah. So yes, so the first skill that one needs to develop is to develop great communication skills. Yeah, which includes body language, the verbal communication, and your written communication. And keep smiling and be polite, be courteous, and use the right words. I think you would have mastered this, yeah, if you do all of this. So, what is the second skill that we need to develop great interpersonal skills? The second thing is that we need to listen, right? Okay, so we need to listen. So sometimes, don't you think that we forget to listen? Yeah, we forget to listen to people, and we keep sharing our thoughts, our ideas. We're so eager sometimes, so much of excitement that we continue to keep sharing, or we are either so angry and, we have a sudden outburst of emotions, right? So whatever it could be, it is very important to listen to the other person. And I believe that that's why, we have 2 ears and one mouth. So listen more and speak less. Allow the other person to speak. And while you listen, don't just hear. Yeah, actually listen. What is the difference between hearing and listening? Uh, the difference is when the other person is speaking, they are actually communicating to you not just through their words, but also with their non-verbal language, with their body language. How are they sitting, or how are they feeling? What is their facial expressions? Are they feeling upset? Do you see, lines on their forehead? Yeah. Is there a raised eyebrow? Are they being skeptical, when they're speaking to you? Yeah. Are they really angry? Okay. And can you see their ears red, or, their nose flaming, or watch their body language. Watch their body language, because it is important. Yeah. So listening involves not just hearing the words, but also taking into account what the person is feeling, what they're projecting through their body language, right? So pay attention to that. Pay attention to not just what is being said, but how it is being said. And this is a very, very important thing for us to master. Yeah. The second skill, listening skill. Moving on to the third skill, which is empathy. Yeah. Again, we hear about empathy all the time, but not really, everyone understands what empathy is, right? So, what does empathy mean? We've all heard the common definition. It says, put yourself in the other person's shoes. But how do I do that? How do I put myself in the other person's shoes, right? So I loved this quote on empathy. It says there are two types of people: those who come into a room and say, well, here am I, and those who come in and say, ah, there you are, right? So, and this is a quote by Frederick Collins, and I simply love this quote. Isn't it beautiful? Every time we walk into a room, we want to be seen, we want to be heard, yeah. We want to be noticed, we want to be recognized, we want to be appreciated. Don't you think the other person wants the same, right? Okay, so what happens if everybody only is seeking attention or seeking appreciation and there is nobody to give it? So that will be a very, very empty and dull room, right? So empathy really means, when you walk into a room, to look at somebody, smile and say, ah, there you are. Let me now get to know you, or let me now get to, share my thoughts with you better, right? Okay, so yes, the four aspects of empathy: see their world, look at what they're going through, look at what they're saying, listen to them. Like I said, not just what they're saying, but also hear how they're feeling and what their facial expressions are, what is their body language. Stop judging them. The moment you see them, don't just term them as black, white, good, bad, can't get along, whatever names that you're giving or calling them for. Don't give them any names, don't judge them. Appreciate them as human beings. It is important. Everyone has their own stories, everyone has their own struggles, and there is nobody who does not have a struggle. Yeah, irrespective of what they have in life. You always think the grass is greener on the other side, but everyone has their own struggles. Everyone has something which they go through. So appreciate them as human beings and do not judge, do not name call, do not brand them in any way. Yeah. uh, the third thing, understand their feelings. Like I said, please try to understand what they're exactly feeling and why they're feeling that way, and see if you could help. Yeah. And then communicate understanding. Say, yes, I understand what you're going through. Okay, not just through words. Maybe a pat on the back will help. Yeah, maybe you could do something to go a little beyond and share something with them. Maybe you could take their resume and pass it around if somebody is looking for a job. If they need help, if somebody is sick, maybe you could prepare a hot meal for them. Yeah, whatever it is that they're going through. So empathy really means, all of these four elements: see their world, appreciate them as human beings, understand their feelings, and communicate that understanding and do something about it. Yeah. So the third aspect of interpersonal skills is to show empathy. The fourth and a very important aspect, don't complain. Yeah, we are complaining, right? If we sit down to complain, we have a lot of things to complain about every day in life. Yeah, we will have multiple things, but then look at it, don't you have a lot of things to be grateful for or appreciative for? Are you not don't you have countless blessings in your life? Of course, we do, right? We all are alive, we are breathing. I was sick yesterday and today I'm feeling much better. I'm so grateful for the good health that I have, right? And I'm able to share this video with you or share this knowledge with you, right? So it is important every day when I wake up, I thank God for another beautiful day, because there might be somebody who is dead at that moment, right? There must be somebody who does not have food on their table. There must be somebody who does not have clothes to wear, somebody who does not have the basic necessities of life: clean water, clean air. So there are multiple things that you can be grateful for. So do not complain, because you're definitely better off than so many others, right? And again, I'm sure that I've shared this in one of my last videos, but it is a quote that I love sharing every time. Every time you feel down, depressed, and you're complaining and frustrated, please remember this quote. Yeah, I saw a man who was crying. I was crying because I had no shoes, and then I saw a man who had no feet. Yeah. So aren't you grateful to have your beautiful shoes? You were crying because you don't have shoes, but then aren't you grateful for your beautiful feet that you have? Yeah. If you had no feet, how would you ever wear shoes? Yeah. So be grateful for everything that you have in life. Complaining is just a waste of time and energy. And every time you complain, how do you feel? You are tired, you are frustrated, you are unhappy, right? Even the person who's hearing you complain, you're passing on that frustration and fatigue to the other person. Yeah, so the other person is not also happy to hear all of that, and they go back with a headache too. You have a headache, and now you've left the other person with a headache too every time you complain. Yeah, so complaining, no good. Now this is something that I want you to try, for the next 7 days. Every time you complain about something, if you complain once about others, complain three things, about yourself. Find three things to complain about yourself. Yeah. And I'm sure that if you continue to do this for the next 7 days, that you will start appreciating everything which others do for you. Yeah, and you will see that there are so many things that you can complain about yourself too. Okay, so yes, so try this. Every time you complain about others, start writing down 3 complaints about yourself. Yeah. Okay, so go 24 hours, first of all, without complaining, not even once. Then watch how your life starts changing. Try this out, for the next 24 hours. Every time you have an urge to complain, stop it and say, try to replace it with a thought which is of gratitude in your head. Say, instead of saying, oh, this is not good, say, I'm so thankful for this. Yeah. Okay, so replace every time, with this is not good, this is disappointing, this is frustrating, all those thoughts in your head with I am so thankful for whatever it is. Yeah. Okay, so please try this out. 24 hours, go without complaining. And like I said, for the next 7 days, if you can, every time you complain once about others, write down 3 complaints about yourself. Yeah. And remember that winners always train and losers complain. Yeah. So winners really don't care. Every time they fail, every time they're down, every time something's not working, they go back to it again and try something new again. They go back and look at what can be fixed and move on. Yeah, they move on. Complaining, like I said, is of no use. So they just go back, train better, work, harder, work smarter, do whatever it needs. Develop those solutions to come back better. And what should I say? Much more successful. Every time. So train hard and don't complain. Winners train, losers complain. The fifth skill, which is very important, and as a part of developing interpersonal skills, is to resolve any conflicts or misunderstandings that you may have as soon as possible. Yeah. So, not to sleep over things, not to carry it forward. Try to resolve any misunderstanding, any conflict that you may have with whoever it is, with people at work, people in your family, people outside. Try to resolve it, as soon as possible. Okay. What do you do? How do you resolve it? The first step, talk it out. Set aside a time. Don't try to resolve it, when you're in the midst of the conflict. Yeah. Request for a time, to discuss this out and say, can we discuss this? Can we come back to this? Is this a good time? When can we come back and discuss this? And tell them that, look, this seems to be a misunderstanding, or there seems to be some problem here. Can we discuss this? Yeah. So it's important to set some time aside and to talk out what the different misunderstandings are, or to get to the root cause of the conflict. And I'm sure that, with last week's, problem solving techniques, you can always get back, right, to the root cause of the problem. So if you are looking at how to solve problems, go back to last week's video and look at the problem solving techniques there. And I'm sure that will help you to resolve all your conflicts and misunderstandings. Now, while you resolve and you've got to the root cause of the problem or the misunderstanding, if you are the person who is wrong, please say sorry. Please apologize. Nobody becomes smaller by apologizing, and you lose nothing by apologizing. Yeah. Our egos take over a lot of things in life. And the question that you should ask yourself is the relationship with that person more important, or is whatever you're trying to accomplish more important? Yeah. So what are your priorities in life? What are your priorities? And if you decide that the relationship with that person is more important, whether it is your boss at work, your manager at work, whether it is your spouse, your parents, whoever it is, your siblings, your brothers, sisters, your friends, is the relationship more important for you, or is the task or whatever that is that you are arguing about, or that you have a misunderstanding about, or a conflict about, is that more important? And nobody can take that decision for you other than yourself. Whatever it is, it is your decision and your take. You don't become good, bad, ugly, beautiful, based on the decision you make, because there might be different kinds of situations in life. Yeah. Sometimes you may decide that it is good to maybe just quit that job and move on, because the relationship with your manager is not working out. But yes, before you do that, you must try to resolve it, try to resolve that conflict, try to resolve that misunderstanding to the best of your abilities. Okay, but it's not about what your priorities are. Whatever your priorities are, make a decision and then work towards it. Now, if you realize that you were wrong and you clearly know that you were wrong, there is no point of then, trying to be egoistic, trying to just keep pinning the blame on the others or complaining, right? It is always good to say sorry, to apologize humbly, and to then, move forward. Now, always, once you say a sorry, make sure that you forgive the other person completely. Sometimes we say a sorry verbally, but then we have not forgiven the other person, and we keep on holding those personal grudges. Yeah, we are holding those personal grudges, and we're saying, okay, now you made me say sorry, but look, I'm going to get back to you the next time. No, that doesn't work at all. Okay, it doesn't help in conflict resolution, it doesn't help clear the misunderstanding, and it doesn't, believe me, everything that you think of, you are emitting an aura around you, and the other person knows exactly what you're feeling. So whether you say it or not, they sense your body language. So don't hold personal grudges. Once you've said a sorry, forgive it, forget it, and move on. And do not hold any personal grudges. Holding a personal grudge is like letting somebody live rent free in your head. Why would you want to do that? Yeah. So free up your mind space. Don't allow them to stay in your thoughts and, make you feel down and negative. Okay. Now, make sure that you never end a day with remorse. Never go to bed with a misunderstanding. Yeah, make sure that you kind of clear it out. Now, when I'm saying that, it may not be possible to clear all conflicts and misunderstandings on the same day, but it is important to say, I understand that something is wrong, and we will definitely speak about this. Yeah, you must at least do that much and schedule time for the discussion, for the next day or whatever it is. So never end a day with remorse. Okay. Now, a sincere apology has three parts. Not just saying I am sorry, but it is to say it is my fault. It is to accept your faults. And then the most important part of saying a sorry is to ask the other person, what can I do to make it right? What can I do to make it right? And when you ask them this, make sure that you keep up on your commitments and that you do all those things which are required to make it right. Yeah. Do not go back on your word, and make sure that you keep up your commitments and do everything that you can once you've said a sorry. Yeah. Do everything that it takes to make it right. Now, forgiving, you might say, oh, Rinku, it is not very easy to forgive. How can I forgive something? They have really been so mean to me. They've been so bad to me. They have backstabbed me. They have whatever it is that they have done to you. Whatever it is they've done to you. However big the abuse is, however big, whether it's an emotional abuse, a physical abuse, however big it is important for you to forgive them, because the weak can never forgive. As Mahatma Gandhi says, the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. So you become stronger. Forgive them for your own peace. Forgive them because you do not want them to stay rent free in your head. You do not want to hold personal grudges. You do not want them to keep coming and disturbing you every single time. Yeah, it's never going to let you move ahead. It's never going to let you move on. So forgive them because you are a strong person. Forgive them because you need to move on, and forgive them because you have to reach for the stars. Yeah, you cannot be held back. Yeah, it is important. And remember, every time that you get angry with somebody, every time you have hatred, every time you have these strong emotions which come up, which causes these conflicts and misunderstandings, all of these they dig holes, right? Anger and hatred, what do? They're digging holes. And they're digging holes in your life, they're digging holes in your mind space, they're digging holes everywhere and pushing you into a black hole, into a deep dark pit. Every time you get angry, every time you hate somebody. Yeah, that's what is happening. But every time that you're loving, every time that you're kind, every time that you are compassionate, okay, love and kindness can move mountains. So, yes, remember to revert back to the positive feelings of love and kindness every single time, and throw away that anger and hate. Yeah, get back, to yourself. Yeah, be the beautiful person that you are. Okay, so those are the 5 skills that are important to develop interpersonal skills. So let's look at all of them. Once again, let's go back and look at all of them once again. What are the skills that we need to develop great interpersonal skills? Communication skills, which is it includes non-verbal, your body language, your verbal, the words that you use, and the written. So all of them really important. Begin with a smile and it will take you miles. Okay. Listening skills: listen more, talk less. Listen to not just what is being said, but how it is being said. Right? Empathy, very important. Every time you walk in, don't say, well, here am I. Learn to say, ah, there you are. Okay. So step into their world and learn to see their world. Don't complain. Like I said, okay, it's just a waste of energy and a waste of time, results in a lot of fatigue and frustration and unhappiness for you. So stop complaining and definitely, try this out. Go 24 hours without complaining. Okay. And what do you need to do every time you complain? Every time you complain once, about others, write down 3 complaints, about yourself. Okay. And yes, definitely resolve all your conflicts and misunderstandings. It is very important to say a sorry if you are wrong. Don't just say sorry. Learn to accept your fault. Say it's my fault, uh, and actually say it's my fault. If you are at fault, and then learn to do what it takes to make it right. Forgive them because it's important for your own sake, for your own peace, and because forgiveness is not something which the weak can do. Forgiveness is something which only strong people can do. So forgive them, for whatever has happened. And don't hold personal grudges. Forget about it too. And, don't revisit that. Yeah. And anger and hate, dig holes, like I said. Learn to be loving, learn to be kind, because love and kindness really move mountains. So, yes, these are the 5 skills that you require to develop great interpersonal skills. I hope that you like this video and that you would practice these skills and come back to me and share your feedback with me on the comments below. I look forward to hearing from you. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can find it by the name of Rinkuji, and it will say Rinkuji. So please like, subscribe, and share my YouTube channel. And invite your friends to our tribe. Invite your friends who want to learn, grow to our tribe, the Nakshatra tribe, on Facebook, so that they can be part of the learning too. So let's learn, grow, and reach for the stars. See you again next week. Bye bye.